To wish the IHRL official cat, Fillmore, a happy birthday. He got a card.
That probably can't hear me, can it?
He got a
I
card.
can't hear ya.
Card from his neighbor, 5 years old.
Close up, right there.
Welcome, IHRL fans, to episode 7 of Inside Harmony Rucker League. This is a special one because right as we're about to start filming, you may have noticed Mason and I are sitting a little close right now. We are joined by 3 owners in the HRL. Joining us today, we've got Sam Rustad, former HRL legend, current owner of the Suns. We got 77, Nate Haugerud, current owner of the Polars, and the one, the only, Bill Belichick of the Harmony Rucker League. Austin Baylor, AB, has joined us here for episode 7, a special one for us. Let's just jump right into it. Recap the week. We're going to start at the top like we always do. Black Panthers, as Sorcerer Berlin predicted, 1-2 on the weekend. Not their best one. Obviously, they had the trade for Q, and Q was a non-factor in this game. So much so that I believe...
Yeah. Anthony Keeney, I don't know if you guys heard it. I mean, I suppose you two weren't there at the time. Anthony Keeney walks by the bleachers, and he goes, "We need to get this guy off our team." Like, out loud says it. I know he was very frustrated about how Q, for being a big man, did not want to go down low. Even when we played them, we had Karsten in the game. Karsten's not the tallest guy. He was guarding Q. And Anthony's like, "Q, down low." And Q's sitting there ready to catch a three-pointer. Like, he couldn't get Q in the paint. And he was very frustrated about it. And I don't know if LB should have made the trade with UAB. I don't know. It seems like it worked out better for you guys.
I'll chime in. I thought LB's biggest thing with Jose was the fact that he just didn't show up.
Yeah,
I thought that worked out for them pretty good.
I thought it did too. I mean, we were talking about how we thought that LB was telling Jose not to show up. That was a kind
I
of
still
a
think he
thing.
did that.
I personally think he did that as well.
There are some allegations that LB is still maybe not quite beat yet. But normally we're going to go in order, but I actually want to transition into, so the Black Panthers go 1-2. Let's go to Q's former team, since we got AB right here,
Before we go to them, can I chime in about the Black Panthers again?
Oh, yes.
Please do.
Because I saw that there was an Ethan Lane fan page.
There
And
is.
can I just say, I believe LB, Logan Baylor, made that fan page.
That is interesting.
Because, he said he wants to dial down how much he's glazing Ethan Lane, and this is, I think, is a good way.
It's a burner account.
He can make it so, like, all right, that's not me, but it's a way so he can get his little glaze in.
I love it. LB probably is the sole, he's probably the, that's his burner account, so he can just glaze Ethan Lane.
Do you think
without anybody knowing. I do. I 100% do. Like, Ethan Lane tips out a rebound. I'm just going to give that one to
Write it down.
Lane, yeah.
We caught it on the game of the week. Ethan Lane had a rebound and a point, and you watch LB over there on the stat book. 1, 2, 3. We counted it 3 tallies.
I don't think he knows how to do stats, anyways. But
that's one thing that maybe Zach and Gundo, we should have discussed.
No owner should be doing their own team.
Maybe we need to have an owner retreat where they go and they learn how to do stats, because
like referee school where they all go and they have to learn how to do calls and everything.
Speaking of referees,
hey,
we could have AB put on the clinic right here in town.
You would know what he's doing. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, going to AB and the Red Raiders.
Yeah, so Black Panthers 1-2. On the flip side, Q's former team, Red Raiders 2-1. And Will Harvey with the performance, 18 points, I believe. Was it like 6? No, 8 2-pointers.
Yes.
8 2-pointers. AB, tell the fans, how are you feeling right now?
Pretty good. LB said that the day of that we played him that Q's have a big factor. I did not see that.
No, Q did
and,
not.
Will said that Will Joseph helped team a lot.
You guys are 2-0 in the Jose era. because Jose wasn't there for the loss. He was there for the 2 wins. So you guys are 2-0 with Jose Otto out there.
Yeah.
One thing that I should have double checked, I was looking at it before, I don't remember, but I did see Jose, I believe, had like 6 rebounds in a game. I should have double checked what did Q have in a game, because I'm probably going to tell you it ain't 6. Q's not really grabbing too many rebounds down there.
Q had a rough weekend.
Q had a rough weekend.
Thing is,
Do we see the Black Panthers shipping Q again? But
And then Jeremy had more rebounds when he starting over Q that week.
and Jeremy, not the tallest guy around. So
No.
hustle plays.
So yeah, there was a big falling out there. I'm sure you're glad to have him.
Yeah.
Off the team. You're looking forward to the future, is what I'm hearing.
Yep.
Good to hear.
So from 1-2 to 2-1 to a team back going 3-0. The Wolves, with the Ruby back, get that 3-0 win. Obviously Wyatt, congratulations to Wyatt Breezer, setting the all-time mark in assists for the HRL. I guess the only thing that I really want to talk about with the Wolves is you gotta wonder what is that pregame ritual that Zach missed so dearly, that now that Ruby's back, sparks him to go 3-0.
I mean, I don't know how often you're in that household, but would you have any idea? I mean, we heard this. It wasn't on the hot mic, but there was a pregame ritual, and they were 2-4 in the 2 weeks without the pregame ritual, and now.
I think we all have an idea of what's going on there, but
We move on.
I'm a little sick of hearing about the Wolves. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah? Who do you want to hear about?
I think they're frauds.
Do you think the Wolves are frauds?
I do.
Stats might back that up. So Mason was actually crunching the numbers, and he's got some stats to read out about the Wolves.
So, I mean, obviously Zach averages 12 a game, which is awesome. But, that's 12 out of a team's 21 points. I thought Wyatt would have way better averages. He's averaging less than 3 points a game. I'm wondering where are these other points coming from. I mean, if you just give Zach his 12 a game, Wyatt his 3 a game, you just got to stop Reed Olson or Father Time, and depending on the week if JT's there. It really shocked me seeing that Wyatt is not as much of a scoring contributor as I thought that he was. I don't know. I think if you just kind of stop these role players around the Wolves, that they are very, very beatable.
I think they have a good 2, but I don't think they have a 3rd. I truly don't.
There's a take right there.
I truly don't.
There's a take that I might tend to second that opinion. I do think that Reed Olson is a good player, though. He's my steal of the 5th round right now, in my opinion. But let's keep things moving because we are sick and tired of hearing about the Wolves. Now the Lions been running with Q Berlin and Torgy all year. Brought in Jack Lawstoon for a couple weeks. Finally got Keegan Patton to actually show up wherever he was. Maybe, who knows where he was. And then they bring in Cale Eichen. And now they have since shipped 2 of those players off. The Lions went 1-2 this weekend. They shipped Torgy. They shipped Keegan Patton. Wilders wanted Keegan Patton gone from the second that he touched a basketball.
Very apparent, yes.
So, I don't know. How do you think that this trade goes for the Lions? I mean, they get rid of their big guy down low.
But they bring in now what was the problem with Torgy is that he would shoot 3s or 2s, I suppose, but they weren't very consistent at falling. Now you have a shooter that can score at all 3 levels to partner up with Quincy Berlin, and Grant's a bigger guy as well. He can get rebounds. Your owners, are you guys worried about this Lions team getting better now?
I'm actually not. But I like it. It all depends on how Quincy and Grant mesh together. And I am a little skeptical about how it's going to work. But, we'll see. They're still a super injured team. And I don't know if they got better or I don't think they got worse.
What do you think the biggest problem is on the Quincy and Grant? What's going to be their biggest hurdle they have to overcome?
I think they're both scorers, both guys who want the ball. And only one of them can have the ball at the same time.
It's very true.
I actually talked to Logan Wilder about this trade.
Well, okay. What did he have to say?
He said the only reason he made that trade is because Quincy Berlin's going to be gone another weekend.
That is true.
So they want someone that can score the ball.
That
when
tells me that they're
Quincy's
worried.
gone.
That tells me that they're worried about the standings.
Yes. Oh, Quincy.
Speaking of the guy, okay, so we're gonna drop this. You guys keep going. I'm gonna talk to Quincy right now.
Okay.
So yeah, we're on the Lions. Stormers are up next.
Yeah, well, I want to actually say that from the Lions, I think that they should have traded Torgi to you guys for Trey. That's the trade that I was pushing, and I had posted the videos because I was trying to go through as many teams as possible. And the Suns video that was going to happen was going to be they should trade Trey for Torgi. And then obviously everything happened. And Wilder texts me and he's like, dude, I love that trade. Quincy Berlin wasn't interested in playing with Trey, from what I heard. So then they went in that direction. I thought I was going to pull it off, get you guys your big guy, which would have been very interesting. I want to go to you guys now that we're on the topic, though. How do you think this Trey, Jay Brink, maybe Caden Stiller if he shows up, Connor Danielson thing is all going to work out for you guys?
So I'm going to start it off, and I want to say Ryland Rustad, I think, is going to be really good. He's raw right now. He's
Very
young.
raw.
And I think moving up, I didn't even know he was only going into 10th grade. I want to say I think he's going to be really good.
Very athletic
All
kid.
right.
Very athletic.
Let me get that out of the way. But I think what we needed was some Rucker League experience along with Jay. And I think Trey has all of that. Trey does, I think, kind of the little things we need right now, where he's gonna try super hard on defense. And I think we were letting guys get by too easily. We're still gonna be undersized, but I think Trey plays a little bigger than his actual size.
Trey has a vertical.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's gonna be interesting. And Caden has let us know he probably won't be there this weekend, and he says he thinks he's going to be there every weekend after that.
So you guys, how do you feel? Do you like the retreat that Jay Brink went on in Switzerland to kind of get his mind right? Do you think that, I guess basically we're asking, did he go to a strip club?
I can't confirm nor deny, but
an adult dancers club, I guess I should say.
That's up to him to reveal. I cannot.
I don't know if you ever watched the Jordan documentary, but Dennis Rodman had to leave the team for a couple of days just to go to Vegas.
I do remember,
right? That might have been a situation like that. What I will say, though, is looking at these stats, while Ryland averages more points than Trey averages about 2 more rebounds than Ryland does, as well as more stocks per game, steals and blocks. So I do believe that you getting a guy that, you're right, is much older, has a lot more of that Rucker League experience. And when Ryland plays, it's like it was one of those things where he's so athletic, he can get to the basket, but those little things he's still learning.
I think it's the experience, and he's going to learn all those things.
He's going to be really good.
This league is perfect for him, and that's why I wanted to get it out of the way right away. That I think he's going to be really good. So
do you guys think that you have the chance now to go and take down teams like the Storm with their big man?
The tough matchups for us are definitely the Storm and the Black Panthers, and it's all a size thing. But I think, I heard, I wasn't there. I've been sunburned for a week and a half. But I heard we beat the Storm without Jay, and I was like, how did we do that? So, but I think we can beat anybody. It's just we're going to probably have to outscore them.
I think you guys' worst enemy is a windy day as of right now.
Yeah.
A windy day.
And I got to say, I love little Danny. That's one guy. I think he's a baller.
That was in my notes right here. Connor Danielson making some noise this
Can I just say, I think he's better than Big Danny.
Whoa.
I don't know if too many
I would
people
back that up.
I don't know if too many people are going to argue with you on that one.
I would back that up.
Connor is a stud, and it's all up here for him right now. As a young guy, if he's confident, he's playing well.
I'm just trying to motivate Brady.
Take that run with it, Brady Danielson. But yeah, we're just talking about the Storm and Colt Landers. They had another 1-2 week, and it feels as though they're so hit or miss week to week. I mean, my personal opinion is that other than with Colt Landers as great as he is, they're just not good enough as a team to win a championship. And I don't know how you guys feel. Can you guys give me some insight about how the owners feel about them going into the playoffs and going towards a championship?
It's tough. Are we going to get another Jace Keeney situation where Colt's just like, whatever, and then he gets into the playoffs and then he just explodes?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's possible.
Hit him with the craziest stat about Colt Landers. about how Colt Landis.
Oh, yes. So we just talked about it. He averages 0.1 blocks per game, I believe it is.
How many does
as
he have on the year?
2 blocks on the whole year.
Really
As
interesting.
the biggest guy in the Rucker League.
Who's doing their stats? Is somebody just
Some
missing
kids.
it?
Probably some kid. I don't know if Mattson or Carson's there very often.
We don't want to poke the bear and
I see
awaken
it, that's
a
twice.
10-block game by Colt, but that's a little crazy to have someone that big. Should be just swatting things, or does it have to be with people just don't want to go down low on him because they know he's going to block it?
I don't know. What I did talk to Colt about after one of their games is I said, like, he can score ones better than anybody else in this league. We have a lot of 2-point scorers. When your Suns beat them, I'm guessing it was like, I'm going to go score 1. We're going to hit 2. I got to score 2 more ones to even just get back into this game.
It had to be an offensive explosion.
Exactly. And the efficiency of his 1-pointers do not always match just how good of 2-point shooters we have in this league. And he told me, he's like, I think I'm going to start shooting more 2s now, which I think is going to be a very scary thing because were you there? Were you guys there when
I heard
game?
I heard
that
about. I didn't
Logan
see the game,
Baylor-
but I heard about
Logan
it.
Baylor might have motivated him a little bit.
Yeah, by saying that he wasn't a
And,
shooter.
That's, to me, not surprising at all. That
Yeah.
Logan Baylor would motivate someone to go off. So
Logan Baylor, HRL villain,
Even
shit
as an
talker.
owner.
Yes.
Yes.
Even as an owner who he's just basically putting a target on his team's back, but he doesn't care because he'll keep talking.
I remember he told me before I played your son's team that I was the most overrated player in the league, and then I had 17 points that
And,
game. So
it's funny because he told me not long ago, he's like, I don't even talk smack.
Oh, crap.
Well, so speaking of putting targets on a team's back, Mason really put a big target on the Hunters' back this past weekend by putting
I
you
did.
guys at number 2 in the power
That was
rankings
crazy.
of the HRL.
Can I say something?
But yep,
I'll admit I was wrong. We should have been number 1.
Yeah,
we should have been number 1.
you guys
We beat the
went
Black Panthers.
3-0 this weekend. Tell us about it.
Yeah, I was actually very nervous going to this weekend. The first thing I see Ruby, and I'm like, "Hey, Ruby, like nice to have you back." She goes, "F you," about being yeah. That's the first thing. I'm like, okay, and then Colt Landis comes up to me, and goes, "Number 2, right?" And like people were coming up to me. I'm like, "Oh my goodness!" And then first game prime time against Black Panthers. Took it to them. I mean, they were missing Gavin Hupka, which is a huge piece, but we were also missing Jordan Peterson, which is a huge piece for us. And then we played the Storm, pulled that one off, and then we had the Lions and pulled that one off. So I felt very good. Are we the number 2 team? I would argue that we're definitely one of the better teams, but like in this league right now, as we see with how close the standings are between the Lions and the Knights, I think it's a 3-game difference. That's 3rd place to 8th place in the league. It's the 1 weekend difference. So like, any team can just move up or down. It's so close. But with the Hunters, Greg playing really well, Atlee's playing out of his mind, and then we got guys figuring it out. So I'm really happy with the Hunters. But we've already talked about the Suns now. So then right below the Suns, we got the Polars. What are we thinking, 77s?
Well, I'll say that I just could not get a bucket to fall in our last game. That was bad. I could not take the lid off of it. But so we got some things to figure out. But I want to say, at full force, I think the Polars have probably the best duo of Bryden and Jeffy in the entire league.
Thank you.
That's if one half of the duo wants to show up.
Yeah,
That's fair.
that's very fair.
Senior 77, you have anything to say about that?
I think the Polars, we struggle when it's windy out. We struggle when we have too many adult pops over the weekend.
Yep.
And we're also a young team. Jeffy and Bryden.
You can't put adult pops in a young team back-to-back sentences, buddy.
Okay. Well,
I'm just joking. Keep going.
According to Jeffy, he's 23.
Jeffy's 23. Bryden said he wasn't feeling well, but
Did he say why?
he did not tell me why. I'm a little worried about it, but I had a little chat with Bryden. I think he's good to go now.
So, anything else from you, 77? What I will say, I started playing rucker ball when I was 16. I was just finishing my sophomore year of high school. I was about to be the starting quarterback over at Lanesboro. And when you're especially a quarterback or you're a very integral part of a high school team, it weighs heavily on you when you're out there just playing basketball for fun. And I'm very interested with all these guys. I mean, I can't believe Kane Larson goes out there, the state champ from Fillmore, and goes out and plays as hard as he does. I'm like, dude, if you want to go to college, you do not want to tear your ACL. Shout out Sam Rustad. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Times two.
Doing something like this, like it definitely, the reason that my stats are very different from my previous years versus this year is I was not driving the hoop. I wasn't playing as hard defense. I know Brian's a great defensive player. Like, it's something that does weigh on you. I'll be very interested to see as football season looms nearer and nearer if Bryden's kind of pulls a little bit back, and these other high school guys that matter as well.
See, I've said this too. I have the same opinion that I think this is really good for these kids to play older people and get this experience. It's great for that.
Yeah.
But there is a risk of doing this.
Mhm.
There's the risk of having, another go for a rebound and a big boy situation.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
roll an ankle so easily in basketball, and rolling an ankle is, you roll it bad enough, it just happens over and over again, and you're timid on it. It slows you down, and it's a risk that these guys are taking. But at the same time, us guys that have a job, we're running that same risk of, I can't perform my job if I can't walk on my ankle. So everyone's taking risks at the end of the day. It's for fun. You could be walking down the street and your Achilles could just decide to go bam. It is all a game of luck. So take care of yourself. But, anything could happen. So if you got that weight on your shoulder, just think you get hit by a car tomorrow. So might as well go all out in the Rucker League today. That's my 2 cents.
I will say is, especially for high school guys, just warm up for the games. Like, that's the biggest thing, is if you're not properly preparing your body to play against some high-level basketball, especially we have college athletes literally in the Rucker League this year. Like, I see a lot of these guys, Ethan Lane, showing up, stretching up for these games, Quincy Berlin doing his thing. Like, I know you're young guy, high school guys, but, like, just make sure you're properly warming up, because I don't want to see anybody missing any time from work or especially sports season as a high school guy.
Well, I was just going to say, that just reminds me of this. So speaking of guys gone, let's talk about the Knights. So who's their first round pick? Grant. Gone. Second round pick?
Trey.
Gone. Well, fourth round pick? Maddox. Gone. Fifth round pick? Ethan Kingsley?
Gone.
All of them are gone. Where are they? They're on new teams.
Scattered around the league.
An anonymous source said that the Knights team was going to blow up. We have to bleep that name out.
We will.
That was on my bad.
Yeah, I'll bleep that out.
Said they were going to blow up the Knights organization. And sure enough, here we are. Trade deadline coming up, and the Knights organization is completely blowing up. They brought in fresh new faces. They brought in, I believe they only have one guy over the age of 18 on their team. At this point. So that just goes from where we were talking about. You got these, young guys. What's going to happen to the Knights?
I think the thing I like about them is, I don't know if they're going to be that good, but they all play with each other. Like Shopsky, Parker, and Ryland, they're gonna be playing with each other next 3 years.
Yeah,
and this is perfect.
This is our Fillmore. This is basically the Fillmore Central Falcons basketball team right here in the HRL. So
I think it'll be very interesting.
And it'll be a lot of learning. Like, if they lose games, whatever. That's kind of the way I think they should look at it.
If Fillmore Central basketball is a powerhouse in a year or two, maybe they need to look back and say, "Thank you, Harmony Rucker League."
Yeah,
I do.
Matt Luch.
Thank you, Matt Lutz. That's the true thing. Thank you, Matt Lutz.
I do want to look back at Fillmore's like stats for like their school ball 5 years pre Rucker League and the 5 years the Rucker League's been around.
I think they've got
That
that.
has helped.
I think there's a 9-day difference because, to your point, a lot of guys, like there's some guys that play AU basketball. Not all guys though. I mean, we're getting like my first year in the league when I was 16, Clay Shopsky was an 8th grader or something. He was on my team, and now he's the face of the franchise, the Knights per se. I mean, it was crazy when Matt Lutz. I saw the notification on Snapchat that Matt Lutz added me. I was like, things are going down right now. This would have come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
This dude woke up from his eternal nap.
We never know what Luke's doing.
So the Knights, brand new, rolling with the young squad. We already talked.
I will say, though, I want to say Ethan Kingsley, I'm a little concerned. I know he threw his water bottle.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping he didn't throw his phone, too, because we haven't heard from him.
Yeah, Ethan Kingsley gone? He's gone dark ever since. I will be the first to say that when he found out he was traded,
It's an emotional thing,
he came off the court. Rylan and Clayton are like jumping around, holding hands. We're teammates. We're teammates. Ethan's like, what? No, you're not. They broke the news to Ethan. What the He goes storming off, grabs his water bottle, throws it at the tree. His mom is standing there. She's like, Ethan, what are you doing? I just got traded. Throws a fit. After the game, he's coming off. I can't believe I'm one of the Suns. Just throwing a hissy fit about the whole thing. It's like, dude, you are playing with Jay Brink. I mean, you can't complain about that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a little worried he threw the phone as well later. We haven't heard from him. So
if I'm Ethan Kingsley, what do I have to do? I like shooting 3-pointers. What offense is probably the best to shoot 3-pointers in? The Suns. Like, you guys are going to be like run and gun, pass the ball, let's get a shot up as quick as possible.
Sit in the corner and let Jay Brink drive to the lane. Boom, Ethan Kingsley. All you got to do is sit there, catch and shoot. That's all you got to do.
I think that this team suits him way better than the Knights did. I think it was a good trade for you guys. I think he'll come around. So I think there's only one team we have.
We're just thinking about you, Ethan.
Thinking
Everything's going to be okay.
We're praying for you, Ethan. You're in our thoughts and prayers. But it's going to be okay. The Suns are going to treat you right. But that leaves us to a team not treating a lot of players right. The Gators.
The Gators.
They had a 1-2 weekend, so they got a win. They've tied it. One more win, and they will officially not be the worst single-season team in league history. So one more Gators. That's all it's going to take.
Who was the worst?
That would have been the 2022 Knights. Spearheaded. That was the Gundo myocarditis year.
Oh yeah, Gundo, yeah.
That team was spearheaded by the one, the only Black Panthers owner, Logan Baylor. I believe they were 6-20.
Oh yeah, Mingo's on that team too.
I think it was a 32-game season, so 6-26.
Yeah, 6-26. I can't remember who exactly, but
Logan
Mingo was on
Baylor,
that team.
Jeremy O'Connor, and Braden John.
that's who it was.
Wasn't Mingo on that
Sounds like a bunch of dogs.
Maybe.
I thought Mingo.
No, Mingo's a different year.
Oh.
But Gators, my biggest question is, do they make another trade? Because clearly the first one didn't work for them. So do they think about shopping maybe somebody else? I don't know. Hayden Erickson
I will tell you, Gundo has reached out to me, but I haven't liked anything he's
give us something.
Could you give us who he's trying to get from you? You don't need to say anymore.
It's a brother of a player.
Okay.
And like I said, I value that player highly. So
Yeah, it appears
Someone's got a
so.
phone call.
And is that maybe the other Suns representative?
Is that
it is not. It's a former biggest bust probably in the Harmony Rucker League. Number 3 pick, I think, Haiti Williams.
that was him?
Oh,
that's
goodness.
I'd say put him on the mic, but
No,
we don't need
we
a
don't want
situation
that.
like that.
They're hitting me up.
What time did we start this?
A little before. I think we've been going for like 25 minutes, maybe.
I think it's been a little bit longer than
Something
that.
like 40.
Oh, really?
It has been. Let's save that for a post. Let's save this for a post. I think this was a good one. That's a good way to end it right there. I think.
That's fine by me. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have more weeks for this. We got through a lot. We did a lot of recap. We got a lot of inside knowledge. The one more thing that I want to talk about before we get out of here is It's in. I've got the predictions from Sorcerer Berlin on what he thinks going into the week 8 of HRL. What he thinks is going to happen. I want to hear your guys' reaction. He gave me 3 predictions. Okay. The Lions will win 2 games without him present this week. Thoughts?
Where
Okay.
do they play?
We don't get the schedule.
I'm gonna, even
Jaden
without
Brink
knowing
might
who
be
they
gone
play,
this week.
I'm gonna say they win.
So, okay. So that's prediction 1. Now here's one you guys might like to hear. We'll circle back to that. So, Black Panthers slide 2 more games.
Gavin's
Okay.
back, isn't he?
I think
He
so.
might be, but is Q Trip's still on the team?
So
Yeah.
if Q shows up, they might be worse. That's what you're saying.
I think that's what.
Statistics would show
Yeah,
that
that
once
is-
Q,
that's true.
when Q's on a team, they don't do well. When Q's not on a team, they go 2-1.
So what we're saying is, if Q is not there Sunday, we need to look into Logan Baylor's Snapchat history.
Yes.
Is he telling Q not to show up?
That's going to be the newest investigation going into the weekend here.
Black Panthers play Wolves and the Gators and the Knights. So they would have to lose again to the probably
The
Gators.
biggest one that Sorcerer Berlin predicts is that the Gators will finally gain some momentum and pull off a 3-0 weekend. The Gators do play his Lions. So he thinks the Gators are going to finally get a 3-0 weekend.
So he's basically saying his Lions are going to win too, but they're going to lose to the Gators.
That's kind of what I realized.
I actually think I was wrong. The Lions played the Red Raiders, Polars, and the Knights.
Well,
Red Raiders, Polars,
Well, they're
Knights.
not
that's
winning against
one loss
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, I'm going 1 and 2 official. 1 and 2 for the Lions.
And then the Gators have to play the Wolves, the Black Panthers, in the Storm.
Yeah, that's a loss.
That's
I
tough.
think the Gators are staring at another 0-3
That's only
weekend.
3.
He might put his losses before
I'm
his
sure
wins. I
Quincy
don't
doesn't
how
know
they-
what the schedule is. So.
Mhm.
I don't know how they do things in Colorado, but that's basically. Those are some bold predictions. Sorcerer Berlin was 1-0 last week. I don't know. Based on what these guys are saying, he might go 0-3 this weekend. It's going to be a tough weekend in the box score for him. Maybe not. Maybe Sorcerer Berlin knows his stuff, and if he goes 3-0 this weekend, it will be crazy.
I got one more thing before we get out of here.
Yep.
Player of the weekend predictions.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Let's start down here. Sam Rustad.
Oh, I don't know if I should be biased.
Be biased.
Jay Brink is due.
He's very due.
Jade Brink might not be there.
What?
What?
What do
Where'd
you
hear
know?
this?
Well, Will Harvey and Jade Brink are going to Wisconsin Dells.
So we might lose.
Oh, is Will
Whoa.
Harvey not there
I don't
either?
know.
We don't know yet.
That is
Depending on what time Rucker starts, 12:04. But Will Harvey said he'll be there if it's at 4.
All right.
You had that. You just drop it on
You just dropped that on me now?
Well, yeah.
AB's way better at the job than we are.
AB is the master insider in the game.
All right, okay. If Jay Brink is there, I'll pick Jay Brink. If he's not, I'm gonna pick Ryden Ball because he's been due for it. He's had a couple that he should have.
He's
Had.
already had one, but
And I think he's getting.
I thought
annoyed.
he should have had that one too.
I think he's getting annoyed, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make it so they can't take this away from me.
Bryden Ball, you're my MVP.
It's Brian Ball you're going for it. Who do you think, AB?
I think Will Harvey is due, but if he's not going to be there, Grant Kennedy.
Wow.
Ooh.
There's a deep pull right there.
That is.
Really?
Mason, who are you pulling for? Who's your
Um,
player of the weekend prediction?
Oh man, are you gonna be able to go guard Colt? Because if not, I think he's going for it. He's gonna be played against by you, Clayton Shapsky, and Ryan Holman is his 3 matchups this weekend. I think that he might have a monster weekend.
We'll see.
So I'm going Colt Landers, and then finally you. Don't pick Bryden Ball. I gotta pick somebody else.
Well, I was gonna actually pick you to be my
Okay.
player of the week, but not anymore. Give me Jeffy.
The whole idea was you not pick
Jeffy.
somebody from your team.
All
I'll
right.
also take it as I'm going to get player of the week from you.
All right. I'm gonna double down. John Pressman's gonna have himself a weekend.
We were saying he's due.
John Pressman's gonna have himself a weekend. They do have one of the toughest schedules, but I think he's gonna lock it down this weekend. I think this is gonna be. I think the Gators might shock some people this week.
That'd be crazy if they did.
They don't play us, so
Fair enough.
that's one loss they won't have on their record. They lost last week to us, so that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for us here at Inside Harmony Rucker League. Guys, we have any final statements before we head out of here going into the week? Anything at all? Give me something. 5 seconds.
Jeffy, be smart.
Jeffy, be smart going into the weekend. Thanks for tuning in. Can't wait to see you guys today. Remember, it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And later today when this is coming out, 7 a.m. on Sunday, come to Rucker, weather pending. There's going to be a silent auction. There's going to be a speaker. The Lions are grilling out. It's going to be a fun day. Let's hope the weather holds off. Bring some money. Bring some friends. Get there and enjoy Harmony Rucker League. It's going to be a fun